I want to tell you about a moment, that specific moment that changed how I see nonprofit finance. And it wasn't in a board meeting, it wasn't in a financial review either. It was in a conversation I wasn't supposed to overhear. So here is how it played out. So I was working with a nonprofit that had recently received a large multi-year grant. From the outside, everything looked quite strong. A growing team, a well regarded program, and a funder who believed in the mission. And I was in the building to review some of the financial documentation in preparedness for the kickoff of implementing this grant, the standard work. And as I was waiting outside the meeting room that I was supposed to go into, then I had two senior staff members talking on the other side of the door. Remember, I wasn't supposed to hear this. So one of them said, "Do we actually have enough money to make the next payroll?" Then the other replied, "I think so. I'm pretty sure we do." And I replayed that response in my head. "I think so. I'm pretty sure we do." This is an organization that has received a significant grant. And I sat there asking myself so many questions. They have funders who trusted them and have given them this enormous amount of money. And they have a full team, a full staff depending on them. And the answer to that question, "Can we make payroll for this month?" was, "I think so." So that conversation taught me three things that I have never forgotten in my career, spanning over almost 2 decades in nonprofit finance. One, financial uncertainty is not just a numbers problem, it is a human problem. Because the staff in that room, they were carrying a very heavy weight that leadership of that organization had really never given a name. It looked like the financial uncertainties had become a background anxiety that everyone felt and actually nobody cared to talk about. And that is what happens when financial clarity is absent. It does not stay in the spreadsheets that has created it, it seeps into the culture. And then, second, the grant that they had just received had not solved the problem. Actually, it had masked the problem. Because we have a scenario where more income is coming in, but it does not automatically create more clarity about where the income is going. So this organization, they have more revenue than they had ever had in the lifetime of that organization. But what they're also carrying on is less visibility into their financial position than even ever before. And that's because the system had been built for smallness and not for scale. The third is that nobody in that organization was fault. Nobody in that organization was actually doing anything wrong. Because the people in that room were not actually careless. They cared. And they were not bad at their jobs. They were mission-driven professionals operating without the financial infrastructure that their work required. They were building, what I could sense is that they were building the plane while flying in it, and the financial dashboard had not been installed. So I'm wondering what was going to happen in the end, but that looked for me like was the scenario at that particular time. So here is what I wish every nonprofit leader would understand before they reach that moment. I wish they could understand that financial infrastructure is not something you build when you have time. It's not a luxury for when you're bigger. It's not what comes after the programs are running well. It is actually the thing that makes everything else sustainable. So the organization that I described up there eventually did the work of rebuilding their financial systems. It took time. It required honest conversations. It required the board to stop deferring and start engaging. But when they came out on the other side, when they had clean monthly reports, clear restricted fund tracking, a board that could actually read the numbers, something shifted, not just in their finances, but in their confidence, in their funder conversations, and in the decisions that they made without hesitation. So clarity doesn't just change your numbers, it actually changes how you show up. I share this story because I believe this sector deserves to have those conversations openly. Financial struggles in non-profits is often silent. Leaders carry it alone, and it gets labeled like a fundraising problem or a capacity problem, when underneath it's actually a system problem. And system problems have clear, learnable, and also buildable solutions. So on my upcoming video, I'm going to give you one practical question, just one, that gives you a first honest read on your organization's financial health. No spreadsheets required. So if you are interested in continuing this conversation, please come back for that one. And you can do that by subscribing to this channel. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next.